Hey everybody, Jason Moser here with Brendan Matthews, joining you for another edition of Ask a Fool, where we answer your questions. Today we're taking a question from Stephen, and Stephen asks, what are good stocks for young investors who have time to wait the market out? I currently own blue chip stocks. Are there slightly riskier options that fall into the buy and hold category for 40 years? Brendan, now first let me just say, Stephen, 40 years, that's great. I love that's your perspective. Now, Brendan, what do you think? What are some ideas that we might be able to throw Stephen's way?
So one that I think that you can really, almost literally hold for 40 years would be CarMax.
Yeah.
So they have they're the nation's leading used car dealership, but they only have a small share of the market, something like 3%. I think that they could have 5 times more stores than they have today. They're really revolutionizing the industry. That's a company I would like to hold for a decade or even longer. So I think that's a great one. I would recommend Stephen checks that out. If he's looking for something that is a little bit more high risk, high reward right now, I'd steer him towards Wisdom Tree Investments.
Okay.
So it's a sponsor of fundamental ETFs, and they've sort of hit a stumble in their growth in the past couple of quarters, and that's sort of caused investors to trade the shares down. But you look at this company's market opportunity, it is in the trillions. It's founder-led. I think that could be a great winner if you are able to hold on to it and wait it out. But Jason, what do you think? What are some high-risk, high-reward stocks that could be held for, that would be great for an investor with a long time horizon?
A long time horizon. Yeah, I think first and foremost, you want to look at leadership where this is concerned, because you want to make sure you have a leadership team in there that in theory should be around for a while, right? I mean, if we're talking 40 years, let's assume we even cut that in half. Anywhere from 20 to 40 years. I mean, I think that something out there a lot of people are probably saying is overpriced today is Chipotle. I think Chipotle Mexican Grill is a really interesting story today because of the fact that they have so much room to grow that namesake store base, along with the shop house concept, along with the pizzeria locale concept, and you have the founder of the business, who's also the co-CEO, Stephen Ells. You have the other co-CEO, Monty Moran, who's a wonderful operator. They're younger guys, I think right around 47, 48 years old, which tells me they're probably going to be there for a little while. And so I think that when you can look at holding onto a stock like that for the next 20, 30, 40 years, that certainly mitigates maybe a little bit of that valuation risk today. And then if you're looking for a little bit of a spicier meatball, and one we talk a lot about here is InvenSense, because it's playing into that not only mobile technology, but wearables as well, along with this whole runway we see for the Internet of Things. I think that InvenSense, it's a volatile holding, and it may be one that really doesn't even last 20 to 40 years. I wouldn't be surprised to see someone snap that thing up at some point. It's one I own, and I think that it's certainly worth a look today. Definitely high risk, but certainly the potential for higher rewards as well.
So I liked your point about management, and it makes me think of another company that I think would be a great long-term holding, and that's Markel.
Oh yeah.
So Markel is a Richmond-based insurance operation. They sell mainly specialty lines, and they've got a great set of leaders now, but I think they have a great set of upcoming next-generation leaders, and Tom Gaynor on the investment side, their chief investment officer, and then Richie Witt, who runs a lot of their insurance operations. I could see them being with that business for the next 20 years, leading it on to really strong returns for shareholders. And
correct me if I'm wrong here, but you own shares of CarMax.
I do.
You own shares of Markel.
I do.
You own shares of Wisdom Tree?
I do.
I own shares of Chipotle. I own shares of InvenSense, and I also own shares of Markel. So I think we're kind of talking our own book here.
Yeah.
I mean, this is, for us, I think this is an important subject. We approach investing very much the same way with that long-term perspective. So great question. Thanks a lot. For more information, make sure to check out Fool.com.